Good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And this morning live is going to be on last minute trade targets. So a lot of you, I know I have a couple trade deadlines this week. So I got some guys that I feel great about that if you make a trade for them, I think they can help you in the fourth quadrant. Now, there's always guys that's trade for, like, I believe, if you can get Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or Lamar Jackson, get those guys if you can, if it makes sense. But I usually go down to a lower tier guys that people aren't on. Um, that's just the way my channel beat. But yes, guys. So I got five guys. I also got a bonus guy for you too. So make sure you watch the whole live. And I apologize, guys. My sound might go out eventually. So I might have to start talking straight to the phone, and that makes it choppy. So I apologize because I didn't get these charged. So I apologize about that. So yes, guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I said what I said. This is cutting edge content. What's going on, Charlene? What's going on, Ronald? Appreciate you guys being here. Always showing support to the channel. Okay. So with no further ado, let's begin. So the first guy I want to talk about, he's probably a Hall of Famer. He's a little older, but he's still very dynamic. And we are worried about his quarterback, and he has a little bit of an injury. And this guy's going to be Tyreek Hill. Now, listen, everybody know when it comes to Tyreek Hill, I'm biased. I my bias is I've hit with my bias. I guess I would say that because I've been pushing Tyreek as the best wide receiver in the NFL for probably 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years, maybe since he came into the league and started playing for big plays. But listen, this is what I'm saying. I know that it doesn't look optimal anymore this year. But if somebody's trying to trade him for 60%, 60 cents on a dollar, 70% on a dollar, I'm going to get him. The reason why, if you go look at this schedule that they have, um they got a real good schedule going forward. And I think Tyreek Hill, all you need him is to be able to get you 15 to 20 points. And this is a guy that everybody wants to get the ball. Now, listen, he said that he's not going to get surgery on that wrist. So he's going to be there. He's going to play out the rest of the season. I would rather have Tyreek Hill and trade for him and put him as my wide receiver 2 or 3 or even a flex play more than probably any wide receiver in the NFL. So right now it's a buy low opportunity for Tyreek Hill, especially if you already gonna make the playoffs, you 8-2, something like that, right? Go get Tyreek Hill. If you got an extra running back that you're not really in the bid able to get on the field, somebody needs a running back and they got Tyreek Hill and they have a losing record, go get Tyreek Hill. Now you don't have to. None of these guys you have to. I understand if you have a disdain because of what's been going on with Tua and Tyreek, but I think this is I would love to have him on my team to be playing in the playoffs. I just think his upside is tremendous. So yes, pick up Tyreek Hill. Okay, let's move on to my second guy. My second guy is going to be a running back, and it's from the Washington Commanders, and it's Brian Robinson Jr. Now, I've been telling people to buy Brian Robinson Jr. the whole season, but nobody seems to want to buy him. And this guy's going to have 12 rushing touchdowns, about 900 yards rushing, maybe even 1,000. The only thing that I would say that worries me a little bit about Brian Robinson would be Jaden Daniels' regression. He's not running the ball like he was in the beginning, but I still think he can, right? He's not like he's got hurt legs. His ribs may be a little bit tender, but that's what opens it up for Brian Robinson. That's why I like Brian Robinson because Jaden Daniels can, run out the back door, right? So defenses always got to stay disciplined and they can't chase the running back because they don't want Jaden Daniels to go out the back door for 50 yards. So to me, that gives Brian Robinson a high upside for rushing touchdowns and just being a great running back that people are not really, oh, this is Breach Hall or this is B. John Robinson. No, he's not one of those guys, but he's still really good and he's still going to give you the upside of a one rushing touchdown a game. I mean, that's his floor. I'm sorry, that's his floor. One rushing touchdown a game. So yes, pick up Brian Robinson. Trade for him if you need a running back. People are probably a little, yeah, I trade you Brian Robinson. Why not? So yes, pick up Brian Robinson. Let's move on to another wide receiver. And this wide receiver is from the Baltimore Ravens. And it's going to be Zay Flowers. Yes, Zay Flowers. The reason why I like Zay Flowers, guys, he's volatile. He's a really good player, but he's not going to be a consistent guy like a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, right? But he has the ceiling to reach their potential, right? For us on a weekly scoring basis. But when you have a guy like this and he's on elite offense, probably the best offense in the NFL, you want to get guys off in elite offense. So having Zay Flowers as my flex play makes me feel ecstatic. I feel great. He might not boom, but it doesn't matter because he has the ceiling that he has is a league winning ceiling, right? So if he gives me 8 points one week, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna put him back in there another week, and then Lamar has a big time passing game, and Zay reaps the benefits of that. That's why I'm trying to buy on Zay. Not that he's going to be consistent every week. I knew that from the beginning, but I still think he can probably be a top 12 wide receiver if you look at his points all the way out through the seasons. Once the season ends, I think he's a top 12 guy. I think he's going to have some boom weeks because nobody's going to be able to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar. And so that's going to always create one-on-one situations for Zay Flowers. So that's why I like Zay Flowers. It's not that I think he's going to be consistent and giving me 20 points every week. It's the upside that I got to get on my team because this is the best offense in the NFL. Yep. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Uh, okay, let's move on, guys, to another wide receiver. And this wide receiver is from the Cleveland Browns. Is going to be Cedric Tillman. If he goes out and has another big game, you won't be able to buy low on him, or you won't be able to get him in a trade. But right now, Cedric Tillman is the number one wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, and his quarterback is Jameis Winston. That's enough said. If you don't understand what that means, well, maybe let me break it down. What I'm trying to say is when you have Jameis Winston who is a hyper target machine, like when he has a number one wide receiver, he's going to push the ball to him. They usually going to be a top five fantasy football wide receiver. He did it for Mike Evans. He did it for Chris Godwin. I think he did it for Chris Olave, where when Chris Olave came in as a rookie, he force fed to Chris Olave. Like Jameis Winston will make a top 12 wide receiver be, he going to create top 12 fantasy football wide receivers. So I love Cedric Tillman on this team. I think he's going to be a league winner. People going to have him in the flex, and he's going to be scoring like a top 12 wide receiver. So go trade for him, not pick him up. This is not a waiver wire video, but go trade for him. And I don't think you have to spend a lot on him to get him. A lot of these guys you won't have to spend up to get them. Okay, so let's move on. Make sure you watch the whole live, guy. I got a bonus guy for you. But the next guy is going to be JSN. This is a great, I guess you want to call it a buy low. This is not really a buy low video. This is just a trade video. But I love JSN. Now, a lot of people say once something like JSN boom game that happened a couple weeks ago happens, you can't put it back in the box. And I believe that to a certain extent. Now, we know DK Metcalf making the money that he's making and the talent that he is, he's going to get a certain amount of targets every game. But when JSN goes out there and does what he goes out and boom like the way he did, then they might try to put it in the box, but you can't put the zip ties back on it. It's loose, it's sitting in there, and the battery is in. So you're just gonna hear it making noise and going off. It's like a toy, right? You can't put it back in the box. So JSN to me is Tyler Lockett. You're gonna get pushed to the back. I thought they should have traded Tyler Lockett at the beginning of the season or at the trade deadline. They didn't do it, but it still doesn't matter. JSN got to get targets. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you what goes on in a locker room. Now, I've never been in an NFL locker room, but I've been in from all the way from I was like 9 or 10 years old, all the way up until I was 19, going into 22. I've been around locker rooms, coaches, talking to guys. And one thing that this is how you can lose the team. If a guy balls out, that's like a backup or he's young and he balls out and you try to put him on the bench for a guy that we're not winning with, but he's a good talent, but we're not winning with, but you're not gonna give JSN the targets after he showed you that he can play, then everybody will know this coach is a joke. We can't trust him. We don't want him coaching us because he's not gonna put the best players on the field. So you don't have a guy like JSN do what he do and then you try to bench him. That's not gonna happen. So JSN is going to get more targets. I'll say three more targets that he's been getting with a full healthy wide receiver tree. So he's going to get three more targets, and I think that's going to make him be a easy top 36 wide receiver. So that's when I say top 36, that's three wide receiver leagues. Like if you have to start three wide receivers, then JSN is going to be finishing in the top 36. He got to be started. So go buy on him and tell the person, listen, man, DK, he ain't gonna get that many points, man. I just need him for the flex play, man. DK is gonna get all the targets. JSN is not gonna do that much, and you can get JSN. So yes, all right. So guys, my bonus guy. Let's get to the bonus guy. My bonus guy is gonna be Chuba Hubbard from the Carolina Panthers. I know. Listen, so y'all, I've been talking about these guys all year. Outside of Tyreek Hill, y'all know about Tyreek Hill, and his situation has been terrible all year. But the rest of these guys, I've been telling you about them, and you're like, I don't know, I don't, nah. Now what? I still don't hear nobody asking me nothing about Brooks. Where's the comments about Brooks? And the reason why I'm chastising you a little bit and talking about why you was talking about Brooks had a knee injury. Chuba Hubbard is grading out as a top five running back according to PFF. He's finishing as a top 12 running back, and y'all keep talking about Brooks, and then he get a deal, and you still talking about Brooks. Listen, Brooks might come in, he gonna be solid, but Chuba Hubbard's got a nice role on this team. And I don't care about the matchups. That's why I'm telling you to go buy them. People, but what about this matchup in the Carolina and Bryce Young? It don't matter. This is how you win fantasy football championships. A guy that's getting 100% of the goal line touches. I'm playing, and I don't care if he's playing against the 85 Bears. He gonna score a touchdown if he getting 20 to 25 carries. If he's good, and Chuba is good, he ain't no Hall of Famer, at least not right now. I'm not saying he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, but I'm talking about for 2024, Chuba a top five running back talent. And that happens. We know that guys come in and they get hot in a certain year. So this is his year. So I'm picking him up, I'm playing him, and I'm trading for this guy. Putting him in as a RB2, even though he's kind of on a sneaky RB1. Like I like this guy better than I like Breach because the offense flows to Chuba. The New York Jets don't flow through Breach; they flow through Aaron Rodgers. That's the type of talent that I can see when I watch the game. That's how I see it. A lot of you just looking at it and just looking for targets and what's going on. You don't understand the essence of a team. Every team got an essence. Go to the Detroit Lions; they got an essence of they like to run the ball. So yeah, I go to Armor Rob, but other wide receivers and Laporta. That's why I told people to be careful drafting Laporta this year. He's not gonna get that many touchdowns like he did the year before. This is a run first team. Kansas City, their essence used to be let Pat Mahomes throw it around for 40, 50 times. Now they just want to win the game any way they can. So essence of the Carolina Panthers is Chuba Hubbard. Hubbard is the essence of the Carolina Panthers. So go trade for this guy. Right, Timothy. Right. Okay, let's get through some of these comments. Appreciate everybody being here. Yes, sir. I see you, Thomas. Appreciate it. Charlene, first one in the building, says, hey, TD, making coffee and talking fantasy football with TD in the morning is a great day. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Charlene says, we may not always agree, but that's what makes us stronger, right? Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. Charlene says, it looks like it's just you and me this morning. You can always ask me some questions. I love researching stuff. Let me see what question I might have for you. What running back is getting the most goal line touches from, and I would say from 5 yards and in? What running back? So, because to me, if a running back is getting a lot of touches, like when it gets time to score, that's a premium. That's a running back that I'm going to put over guys that might get more touches than him, right? So, I guess I ask you that. Ronald, what's up, Ronald? He says, TD, let's get this money. Hey, Ronald, where you from, bro? You from North Carolina? Are you from North Carolina? Because I remember I seen you had a comment the other day. You was like, "Hey, bro, it's just rain." I'm like, "Yeah, it is raining in North Carolina. How you know?" Ronald says, I see you got that iced tea. Yes, sir. You know it. You know it. Yes, sir. That's my coffee for this morning. I didn't want no hot coffee. Um Scott says best takes around. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ronald says Demarcus Robinson, Keyshawn Butte, MVS, or Gabe Davis for immense upside. I'm going with Keyshawn Butte. Keyshawn Butte, and then I would go with Demarcus Robinson. Scott says just completed a trade to land Baker Mayfield. Contemplating making a trade for Mike Evans, but it would cost me Cup. So I'm not sure. No, if it's gonna cost you Cup, nah. And that's two older wide receivers. The only way that I'm coming off Cup, it would have to move to like a Jamar Chase or two young guys like a Cedric Tillman and a Zay Flowers. It would have to be some two guys that I believe in, younger guys. I like Mike Evans since he's coming back off an injury. Maybe he can be healthy for the rest of the season, but I've always kind of faded Mike Evans, which he's a great receiver and he's probably a Hall of Famer, but I don't like that he gets hamstring injuries. I mean, he's had hamstring injuries probably 85% of his career, and that's okay. That happens. Certain guys just have certain injuries that they got to overcome on a weekly basis. Charlene says it all depends on Tua. She's talking about Tyreek Hill, and it does. It does depend on Tua, but Tua know he needs to get Tyreek the ball, and Tua just got to get a little bit more comfortable in his skin every week to go and take those chances like he always has. Stand in the pocket, take the hit. Not no, don't be dumb because we know you got concussion problems, but stay in the pocket and try to get your alpha wide receiver the ball. Listen, y'all can still make the playoffs. Y'all still can push for the seventh seed, maybe even the sixth seed. So keep they got y'all got a good schedule in front of you. So I like Tyreek and I think Tua will get better. I believe in Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels makes me feel comfortable taking this chance. Kazi, what's up, bro? He says, grade my trade, TD. Gave up Neighbors for B Rob and Amari Cooper. Gave up Higgins and Jordan Mason for Moody and Rico Dowd. Okay, so you gave up Neighbors for B Rob and Amari Cooper. I like the B Rob, but I don't like the Amari Cooper. But I think it's still a solid trade. I'm gonna give it a B because I'm only saying it going grading down Maury Cooper because he hasn't been healthy all year, really. So that's the only reason. But I love that you went for B Rob. Even though you gave up Neighbors, I get it. I'm not giving up Neighbors per se because I'm just playing the targets, but that's disingenuous to your team, right? Everybody team is different. Some teams I might need to get off Neighbors, some teams I don't. It just depends on the build on my team. And then you said you gave up Higgins and Jordan. If that's Jordan Love, bro, I don't like that trade at all. Jordan Love is just way too talented of a quarterback to give him up, unless I got another talented quarterback. Oh, Jordan Mason. I'm sorry, gave up Higgins and Jordan Mason for Mooney and Dowdle. I get that one a C plus. So Kazi, I'm gonna get a first one a B. I think that's a good trade. That's a really good trade. The second one I'm gonna get at a C plus. The reason why Higgins is playing on the elite offense. Man, he's volatile, but you getting Dowdle, which is volatile, and Mooney has got a lot of guys, there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. But Mooney is good. I would rather have Higgins for when he's healthy and I can play him over, and I'd rather have Higgins than to have Mooney because of Joe Burrow and that type of dynamic. That's just me. But I still think I don't think you made any bad trades. So I'm just giving you once it's a good trade, the level of how good it is. And I think the last one is a C plus. So I think you made some good moves. So hopefully it helps your team. So I don't know the rest of your team per se, but that they are solid in a vacuum. Jay Wild says, should I start Cedric Tillman over DK Metcalf this week? No, sir. No, sir. So this is what I would tell people, and I need to make a strategy video. Make room on your team for your young players or up and coming players to get in your lineups. Guys, don't you know, like, say if Baltimore, and I'm just giving an example, this is hypothetical. Say if Baltimore in the beginning of the season, they traded for Amari Cooper and Jamar Chase. Well, how would they know what Zay Flowers is? they wouldn't know because he wouldn't have any room to grow and get any targets on his team. Same thing happening with JSN. They keeping Tyler Lockett there is stunting JSN growth. At a certain point in time, this is professional. You can't stunt guys' growth. They have to be growing, and you have to get them on the floor when they're ready. In college and high school is a little bit different. You can wait your turn because there's not money on the line. It's not my career on the line. But right now, I believe you can't stunt your growth. So let's get to the fantasy football lineup per se. Don't have so much talent where you can't let a Cedric Tillman get in your lineup when he's showing you that I'm ready to play and I'm going to have I'm going to have some good weeks, but I'm playing on a team that's been trashy and it don't look great. DK is got the name, so I'm not telling you to trade DK, but maybe you should be able to try to trade somebody away to consolidate. That way, you got real good hitters at each position, and just maybe one or two guys that can potentially come into your lineup on your bench. And that way it keeps your starts and sits easier. You don't have to choose between DK and Cedric because that's not going to be fair to Cedric. I'm never going to tell you to sit DK unless the team come out and say we moving on from DK. We're not giving him targets. So I think Cedric Tillman is a start, but I think you have to make room on your team to get him in there. And I can't tell you to sit DK to do it. Even if it happens, I don't care if it happens this week and next week, and he outscores DK. I'm going to always say you need to get DK. As long as DK is getting 10 targets a game. Charlene says Mooney will play tomorrow. Yes, I heard that. He is healthy. Thomas says 6:30 in the morning. What up? Good morning. Why are you stream so early? It's on a Saturday. I got stuff I got to do throughout the day, so I don't want to be streaming during the college football games. Nobody's going to be really watching that, and I don't know what's going to be going on later on tonight. What type of plans I might have. So I just wanted to get this video up, and then I also can do another live stream, right? So I just want to get up, do my thing this morning. Appreciate you being here though. Scott says, "Come on now, smash that like button if you are watching." Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Scott. Thomas says, "Been a Seahawk for 20+ years now. We love Lockett here in Seattle. Yeah, he's older, but he's been so clutch for my Hawks in real life." And I don't disagree with none of that what you said. But, however, you have to move on for younger talent. That's nobody's bigger than the game. Only might be like 5 players in the whole world ever that can get like a free, okay, he's him. We just gonna let him go, right? And that's probably like guys like um I would say that might be like guys like a Mike Trout, that might be a Deion Sanders or a Tom Brady. Those guys get that. Tyler Lockett is not a bad player, but they needs to move on so they can bring younger talent in there and win Super Bowls. Tyler Lockett can get traded, and you can get a third, fourth round pick for him, and he can help somebody win. And Tyler Lockett is a good player. But why did you draft JSN? If Tyler Lockett is that guy, then don't draft JSN and get you a lineman, or get you a corner, or get you a linebacker, or whatever. So I just think it's not about Tyler Lockett. It's just you got JSN here, and we need to move on. Just like college, you can't be a 35-year-old college talking about so let me play. No, we got to leave room for the up and coming guys. We got to keep this thing going. Life keeps going. So it's not about Tyler Lockett, but I get it. I got certain players that I love on my team, and I love for them to be around and teach the young guys. But I don't want them stunting the team. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Timothy says Chuba been impressive, and now he got a contract. Yes, sir. And I said that I should have told y'all, but I was telling my homeboys at work. I said, listen, Chuba, they're gonna give Chuba a deal. I knew that Jordan Love was gonna get a deal. You got to get these guys a deal quick because if you let them keep playing and they booming, the price gonna go up. Charlene said JN is the most targeted Seahawk. The problem is that he doesn't score touchdowns because that will be coming soon. Right? It's because of DK. It's it's because the DK is so many mouths to feed. They can't really get JSN the ball to get him in a rhythm. Now he's maybe getting targeted, but it's choppy. Those nobody wants their choppy targets. They wanted to flow. They wanted to flow. It's not flowing, and I think now they're gonna try to make sure it flow a little bit better. That's my 2 cents on that. Uh, Timothy says Panthers invested a lot of money into their O line. It shows facts. There you go, Timothy, and that's why I'm playing. That's why I love Chuba, and I got Chuba on a lot of teams and dynasty teams too. Thomas said DK is an alpha. Love JSN as well. Right, DK is an alpha, but you have to be able to make combination routes to make everybody a threat. We can't just sit back and look for DK just because I'm DK and I'm in shape and I can outrun everybody and I'll beat you up if you don't throw me the ball. We can't do that. We have to make a dynamic type. Okay, read here. Okay, this guy's open, throw it here. Right? Even Justin Jefferson, we can't throw it to Justin Jefferson every single time. And I know that's you kind of can because Justin Jefferson like that, but you still got to get a flow of other different talents to make everything work so we can win games. Just getting the guy 100 yards for fantasy is not going to make us win Super Bowls. So I think they need to recalibrate and use DK a little bit different and use JSN a little bit different. I'm not saying DK need less targets. I think he needs to be getting the ball out in space and trying to run behind the line of scrimmage, not running down the field all the time. Because that's not his strength to me. He can do it, but I think DK's strength is when the ball is in his hands and you have to tackle him. Chris says Chuba was they still in the draft. Got him after the 10th round. Me too, bro. I got Chuba everywhere that he failed. Yes, sir. Senor Rojas says good morning, big bro. Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir. Mr. Anderson, what's up, bro? Ronald says I'm here in Durham, North Carolina. Wow, bro. We're gonna have to link up, man. We're gonna have to link, man. Maybe I don't know what you be doing through the week, but I'm only down there because I work in Durham. So yeah, man, that's cool. That's awesome, bro. Kazi says just traded Mahomes and Pearsall for Kyler Murray. I like that. If Mahomes was your best quarterback and you went and got Kyler Murray, I understand that. I don't understand why you couldn't have done it straight up though. You had to give up Pearsall, but I get it. You probably don't need Pearsall either. I think that's a solid trade. I like Kyler Murray's playoff schedule. JB Gaming says I have Jamar Chase got sent an offer of Nico Collins and Jaden Reed. Nah, you're not giving up no Jamar Chase for no Nico and Jaden Reed. Chase is my untouchable, but that had me intrigued a little bit. Maybe that's a little nah. I'm not even intrigued. I'm not even intrigued. Thomas says, bro, you snapped my 5-game winning streak in our best ball league. Right. I'm glad too, because you've been talking shit. So I had to go ahead and humble you a little bit. That's one of my leagues, man, that hey, I'm still kind of in it. Y'all better keep me out. Y'all better keep me out. Yeah, bro. You got a good team, man. You got a real good team, man. And I know this is best ball is new to you, but you still drafted a pretty good team, man. You know fantasy football, you know sports. Tron says, would you trade Mooney or D Hop for Chase Brown? I would trade if I needed a running back, I would trade Mooney for Chase Brown. I would keep D Hop. I like D Hop touchdown upside. So yes, I would do Mooney for Chase Brown. My other wide receivers are Tyreek, Cut, McCoy, JSN. My running backs are Barkley, Monty, Mostert, and Madison. Okay, you can need a little help with the running backs. Monty probably is okay with Barkley together. So okay, yeah, I would do that trade. I would do Mooney for Chase Brown. Charlene says, sorry guys, nothing like Texas sweet tea with using honey and not table sugar and you steep it. Okay, what steep mean? Let me know what steeping tea means, Charlene. I'm gonna have to try some tea with some honey in it. Uh Tom Burton says traded Chuba and Waddle for Metcalf and Chubb. 25 per carry, 1 point PPR. I like that type of setup. Mine is like that too. Every carry you get 0.25. Yes, I love that. That's a great setup, man. That's a great league, Tom. I love that because you need to give the running back something for getting carries. It means something in real life. It means something in football. Like if you giving a running back a lot of carries, it's going to slow the game down. A lot of people don't know that. That's just coach talk. But you traded Chuba and Waddle for Metcalf and Chubb. I call it a B minus. You got Metcalf. You got off Waddle. I don't know. I'm probably being a little gracious. I I would have rather to keep. I would have kept Chuba and tried to make another move with Waddle and got something else. Maybe Waddle for Tillman. I wouldn't have tried to trade. I'm not trading Chuba. So I don't feel great about it, man. But I see what you did. Chubb is coming through. Chubb looks decent. He hasn't scored yet. I don't know if this team is going to be able to provide rushing touchdowns for Chubb because I don't know if how many times they're going to be in the red zone, if they're going to be scoring over 21 points a game. But Chubb looks to be trending up, getting better off that knee injury. Metcalf has been injured. Chuba the best player, and you gave him away. That's just my 2 cents on it. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work for your team. This it's kind of, man, your preference. Sometimes that's why I kind of like, y'all might say, well, TD, you talking out of both sides. Well, guys, just because I don't like the trade don't mean it's not going to happen. Like I can put myself in a vacuum and give my opinion, but also give like more of a professional opinion, just according to what your team was or what's going on and what you need. JB Gaming says Tron Forrest, hell yeah, especially a 1-for-1. Get Chase Brown, brother. Yep. Thomas says consolidate that lineup. I did Tillman and Lad for Nico 2 weeks ago. Strong, right? Tom says grade my trade. Yeah, man, I would give it a B minus C plus. Thomas says, oh yeah, I almost forgot it was Saturday. Word. Oh, word Saturday. Okay. King of Nike, what's up, bruh? He said, what's good, brother? Rio James says, you think MVS can be 85% of what Shaheed was? I would say 50% of what Shaheed was. Um, if I thought he was 85%, I would tell everybody to go pick him up. I would think he would, this would be a great role. I don't know if he's going to do this on a week-to-week basis, but if he does it another week, I move it up from 50 to 65. And then if he does it again, then I move it up. But right now, I don't think he's going to be 85% of what Shaheed was. The Saints, after he turned 3 targets into 25.9 points. Yeah, and that's just hard to do. Even with she was getting more targets than that. So it's hard to keep getting that least of target. I say 3 targets a game and put up 25 points. 3 targets for 25 points. That's not going to be happening. But we'll see. He says, I heard about Lockett. I get it. I get it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're gonna have to get one of these guys. You got to get them out of the lineup. If you want JSN to start getting better, you're gonna have to get Tyler Lockett out of that lineup. Tim J said, "What's up, bro? My favorite fantasy football guy. Appreciate you, guys. I don't know if it's this tea with caffeine in it, but I'm starting to get hot. But he says, guy in my league put Gibbs on the trade block. My running backs are Hunt, Hubbard, Breeshaw, and Pacheco on IR. Would you trade any of these running backs for Gibbs? Yes, I would take Pacheco and Breeshaw and try to get Gibbs. Now, if he do it, I hate to say stuff like this, but try to give him Hunt straight up for Gibbs. He's probably not going to do that, right? So I want to tell you, I always try to give up the least that you can. But to me, to skip all that back and forth shit, I would give him Breach Hall and Pacheco and keep Hunt and Hubbard, and then I would have Gibbs. That's what I would do. I'm pretty sure he might accept that. And if he don't accept that, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get him. Would you trade any of these running backs for Gibbs? Yes, those are the guys. I would trade Breach Hall. If he do Breach Hall straight up, I would do that too. I wouldn't trade away Hubbard. I would try to keep Hubbard for my team. Tom says, grade my trade, trading Chuba and Waddle for Metcalf. Yeah, like I said, man, that's a B minus C plus. King and Nike says, TD, you think my running back room can compete in the playoff? Joe Mixon, Ramondre, Chase Brown, Bucky, estimate? Hell yeah, you can. Yes. Yes. Tom says, got Hall, B. John, and Gibbs. Okay. Yeah, man. I like especially B. John and Gibbs. Hall, I think he'll be okay, but you can trade him if you want to. Um, Thomas says DK seems to try to make body catches, not using his hands enough. Agree. Yeah, that's fine, and that's everybody's don't have elite hands. He don't have to have elite hands to be a great player. That's fine. That's the way he catch the ball. I just think they don't. I don't like their route combinations. I don't like the way they use DK. Rio says DK is a diva. His emotional antics are ridiculous. I hate to say it, I kind of agree with what he's saying. He's right. And I listen, I love personalities. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So Jerry Jones taught me how to appreciate personalities. I don't like I'm not saying I don't dislike boring guys, but I like guys that are eccentric. But DK sometimes the way he did with Shannon Sharp, when Shannon Sharp was trying to hurt him, help him, it was cringy. Like Shannon Sharp said, yeah, man, DK, man, if you eat right, man, you'd be the best wide receiver in the league. He said, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna keep eating Skittles and be a beast. I'm like, bro, okay, that's fine, but do you understand what's going on here? So I just thought that was weird, right? I just thought that I'm like, bro, Shannon is just be like, oh, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna work on that, man. I'll give you a call, man. Because I could probably work on my diet. Like you gotta be respectful for a person older that's trying to help you. And so DK, man, I know you extremely talented and gifted, bro, but come on now. It's just I don't think the coaches want to coach you. They scared. Like DK gonna get mad, and I ain't gonna say nothing to him. Like I agree with you, Rio. Big Rowan said, "What's good? What's good, bro? Tom says traded Chuba and let's see. Santos says start a wide receiver, running back, and a flex PPR. Jacobs, David Montgomery, Chase Brown, Mooney, Pickens, Tillman. Start a wide receiver, running back, and a flex. So your starting wide receiver should be Tillman. No, Pickens. Starting wide receiver should be Pickens. Starting running back should be Chase Brown, and then your flex should be Tillman. Your flex should be Tillman. Now listen, Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery are good running backs. I think Tillman, Pickens, and Chase Brown, their roles are better than those guys. Josh Jacobs should be started. To me, I didn't draft any Jacobs. I just don't like the way the team flows. This team flows to Jordan Love. They want to pass it a lot, so that's why I'm not really into Jacobs, even though he have good games here and there, and it's been looking good, pretty decent lately. David Montgomery is another good running back, but I think Gibbs is get ready to for the down the stretch take over a little bit more, get more goal line touches. Jacobs is going to be getting those goal line touches, so he's a start man. But I cannot sit Pickens, Tillman, and Chase Brown. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I think you got to get Tillman in the lineup, even though you might see a lot of guys that have better names than Tillman. I think Tillman is going to be a breakout. Senor Rojo says, "How you feeling about the Tyson fight?" I knew what was going to happen. Like I said, I cheered for Tyson. I wanted Tyson to win just because I like Tyson, not because I don't like Jake Paul or anything like that. But it was for money. Respect the game. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. They did that for money. That's fine. Mike Tyson got a family to feed. Mike Tyson deserves this. Um, he's been doing a lot of good things. Um, trying to fix his reputation and stuff, moving forward, starting podcasts, helping people, boxers, young boxers. I love what Mike Tyson's doing. So if he want to go out and get a bag and stage this fight, because most fights are staged, a lot of sports events are staged, and they are allowed to do it. If you go and read the rules, it's entertainment. I even had to say about my football, but my football, I love football so bad or so good. Um, I love football. I like the art of it, the catch, the move, that boom, 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 or make a guy miss. Even though sometimes it seems like it's staged. So I like the Tyson fight. I'm glad Tyson got paid. I like to see people make money. I'm not a hater. A lot of people be breaking stuff down and they don't have as much as money as these people. And I'm like, there's no way I would like to be in that position. Like, oh yeah, this is weak and they got all that money and they just sitting back and being a grumpy old person. Like, no, let these people go out and get money, man. You can go get money too. Go stage you something. This is the way the world works. So the fight was staged. Everybody knows that. King of Nike says my wide receiver room is Tyreek, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, JSN, and Downs. I like that. I like that you got AJ Brown, Zay, JSN. I love that wide receiver room. Robert, what's up, Robert? He says, "What's good, TD? Pick three. Dobbs, Downs, Higgins, Jamison, Williams, Mooney." Thanks, TD. I'm going with Jamison Williams, T. Higgins, and Mooney. And Mooney. I'm gonna go with Mooney over Dobbs. I'm going with Mooney over Dobbs in this situation. Yep. T. Higgins, Jamison Williams, and Mooney. Um, G Santos says Sertan going to clamp D Hop this week. Yeah, But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to play him. I'm not going to now. If I got another good player, hell yeah, I sit D Hop and go to another player. The leagues I play in, bro, and the way I build my teams, I usually don't have a backup that I can really play. But if I had a guy like a Jameson Williams or a Darnell Mooney and I could sit D Hop or something, hell yeah, I would do that because I respect what Surtain is. But in a couple leagues, I don't really have D Hop, but I wouldn't drop him for or go pick up a Keyshawn Butte and play him over D Hop just because Surtain is playing. That's just me though. King of Nike says Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson are at quarterback and McBride at tight end. Killer quarterback room, bro, with upside. You got Anthony Richardson in case you start seeing him booming or you need to make a move or a trade. I like that you got Anthony Richardson as a backup quarterback. I'm okay with having two quarterbacks now because Anthony Richardson got benched or got put on the waivers by a lot of owners. So now you have to pick that up. You cannot leave that out there as a quarterback. Like you can't leave him on waivers. Somebody can pick him up and have a better team than you. Tom says B. John and Hall and Gibbs my other running backs. B. John and Hall and Gibbs my other running backs. Okay. Thomas says I take DK and Chubb. I respect that. Charlene says I have Chubb. I hope Chubb goes off this week playing the Saints. Thomas says honey and coffee is nice. It's also nice on other stuff. Okay. Robert says Adams or Jennings, bruh. I think you got to go with Jennings. I think you got because the way Kyle Shanahan came out and talked about Jennings, I would consider him and play him as Ayuk was last year. So I will put Jennings in over Adams. Adams has been so. I like Jennings upside and targets. I do too, Robert. At this point in time, I'm not telling you to bench Adams, but I just like Jennings upside a little bit more than Adams at this point in a vacuum. Not saying Adams is a bench or a sit. Destin said, "What up, TD? Off subject, but man, Iron Mike looked slow last night. Tua or Knicks rest of the season. I would go with Bo Nix right now over Tua. Tua is a good backup, but yeah, man, Mike. Of course, he was gonna look slow. He also had a bad knee. I mean, with guys, it was spectacle, but I get it for just breaking it down. You want to talk about the things in there. It was a spectacle. These guys got nice bags. I think they probably got $5 million a piece, or maybe more. It did really well. Netflix servers went down. So in order to get their servers to go down, you know what it is. They made some good money. Anytime, Tom. Anytime. Jimmy's TV says MVS should serve as the Saints' #1 wide receiver this week. They have no experienced receivers. Yeah, but he can't run no routes. He don't run no but deep routes. Now, for the Saints, that's what they need. I just don't. I need to see it again. I'm not, bruh. I'm like this. If I go and I got a girl and say another girl come up and she may look better, I'm not getting rid of my old girl just to go with this new fling. I gotta vet it. I gotta vet it for multiple years to see what you are about before I branch to you and make a relationship. So MVS doing having one good game, shit, he could have three good games. Still don't know if I would trust it to go and pick him up and play him. They're just me. I just some players, man, it's just not worth my time for my teams because I don't really have opening spots for a guy like MVS when it comes to wide receivers. The running backs, I take them all, but when it comes to wide receivers, if you ain't high, like a high end wide receiver, I don't have time for you because I draft high end wide receivers through the whole draft. KL says Will Disley or Dawson Knox. Man, I'm gonna go with Dawson Knox in this one. With Maury Cooper, it looks like Amari Cooper being out. Is Amari Cooper playing, guys? I think somebody might have said he was playing yesterday. But with Amari Cooper being out and Keon Coleman and Kincaid, I'm gonna go with Knox. Tom says Henry or Knox. I'm going with Henry, Hunter Henry. Thomas says Jennings over Adams for me. Yes, sir. King and I said TD, something is telling me to grab Knox. I respect that. Return of the Knox. With all the injuries, Josh needs to feed somebody, and the game is in Buffalo. Facts. G Santos, what's up, bruh? Thomas says 7 a.m. My trade for B John just completed. It's a glorious day. Appreciate the early morning video. Anytime, Thomas. Tim J says I sent Breach for Gibbs. Hope he takes it. He is a trade happy king of a guy, so I'm sure he will. Thanks for the help. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Jimmy says, "Are you stashing Mike Williams?" No, but if you need a wide receiver for a touchdown upside, you can play him in a bye week position. Like if you got guys on bye and you need a wide receiver, yeah, he good. But as far as picking him up, like he's gonna be top 24 or something, nah. He is a big body target in the red zone, so he can have value in this offense, right? In real life, but fantasy, it might be 10 points as a ceiling. Olave, yes, you can draw. I like. He says Olivia. Wow. I'm not gonna disrespect him like that. I'm not gonna do that. Yes, you can drop Olave. 619 Bengals fan says, "What up, bro? Really or Jacoby Myers?" I'm going with really all day. Kale says Russ or Love. I'm going with Love. He said, "Who they 619?" Dustin Poole says Lamb or D Hop. I'm gonna go with Lamb over D Hop. I'm going with Jordan Love over Golf. Yes, I see that too, Thomas. He says, I see D Hop getting a bunch of short, intermediate receptions versus Buffalo. I agree with that. And maybe get some touchdown upside. Mr. Anderson says Jennings or Tillman. I got to go with Jennings because of the role that he plays on the San Francisco 49ers. But my favorite guy to have rest of the season would be Tillman. But I can never play Tillman over Jennings, not for the role that Jennings has at this point in time. So to me, in order to get Tillman in your lineup, you're gonna have to consolidate some type of way. Thomas says, I read a bunch of stuff saying Tyson looked sad. Yeah, he did. We got, he got to play the game. And he was out there trying to, win the fight. I'm not saying that. It's just, it's a 60-year-old guy going against like a 30-year-old guy, maybe even younger than that. I don't know how old he is. Dr. Duck says TD doesn't respect stud DBs. I don't, but respect studs wide receiver. That's a contradiction. Oh boy, let me see. Let me address it because it's a good point that what he's bringing up. So I'm not going to ignore this. This is a good point, Dr. Doug. I appreciate that. No cap. I disagree. So I'm scared of heights, but I still would get in the plane. Why? Because I ain't scared. So I'm not scared to play my stud wide receivers. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's why you miss it. You so into what's the numbers? What is the numbers? You missing what I'm really trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, man, I'm gonna play my guy. I'm. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna go play my guy right here, and I'm willing to go down with the ship. I'm not saying this is the best strategy, and this is the best way, and I created something that nobody else created. I'm saying this is what TD wants to do. Right? This is what TD wants to do. You don't have to do it. So I'm gonna go continue to win championships that you ain't gonna say nothing about at that time when I win it. You won't go back on anything when I win playing my stud wide receivers against corners. I'm not sitting my stud guys for corners. So if you want to play matchups, you can do it, bro. I'm not saying you're gonna be wrong. You're probably great at it. But why you want me to make those decisions when I've got plenty of facts or plenty of receipts to show you that it works for me? I'm not saying it's going to work for you. So if you want to go and sit Jamar Chase because he's playing against Deion Sanders, that's fine. That's for you. If you want to sit Calvin Johnson because he's playing against Darrell Reeves, that's fine. Um, and you said I don't respect DBs, and when one of my favorite players is Troy Polamalu and Bob Sanders, get the hell out of here with that, bruh. You trying to come here and trying to find ways to make me be wrong in a vacuum, but this shit don't even make sense. So I'm just you just telling me why your favorite color red, why you like red, and you don't like brown. It's a contradiction because you're a black man, but you like red. Bruh, I just want to play my stud wide receiver. That's all. That's all. I don't. It ain't got nothing to do with no DBs or nothing. I just want to play my stud wide receivers. Can I play my stud wide receivers, please? Um, 100. He says, "Ride or die, girls." I don't know what that means, Tom. Tailgate says, "Greetings, great content. Start Taysom Hill or Ingram at tight end." I'm starting Taysom Hill at tight end. Appreciate your time and effort. Thank you, bro. Square said, which three wide receivers do I play? Higgins, Metcalf, Reed, Jennings, and Pearsall. Okay. Also, and I'm sorry, guys, just good. Also, bro, and I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate the banter, being able to go back and forth, and you're not taking them personal. That shows me you got some character, and you kind of really, really willing to go face to face with what you stand on. But bro, you here, right? So evidently, I'm saying something right, right? For to get a reaction. If I was saying, would you be actually watching it? You'd be like, nah, this shit is garbage, right? Would you actually even comment? Probably not. But yes, go. I'm sorry about that, guys. Going back to Square. He says, which three wide receivers do I play? Higgins, Metcalf, Reed, Jennings, or Pearsall? Um, I would say Metcalf, Jennings, and Higgins. Higgins, Metcalf, and Jennings. Those are the three wide receivers that I'm playing. Should I trade Swift? I would. It just depends on what I'm getting for him. Shawnee says, I love Michael Penix Jr. He's going to be good when he starts. He has a live arm. Tom is laughing. Tom is laughing. Tron says, TD, I just read that Tyson was getting around 20. Wow. And Jake Paul getting 30 to 40. I told you. They got that bag, man. So I don't care how it was staged or not. I respect people getting the bag. Higgin, like I said, TD is a PSA. What does PSA mean, bro? He says cutting edge content. Week 14 has six teams on bye. Hold on, let me look so I can look at the chat in my other screen. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't skip the super chat. I got to get to the super chat. Um, but yeah, let me finish this question. Uh, week 14 has six teams on bye. Right. Lamar Jackson, it's gonna kill me week 14. Baltimore, Colts, Denver, Texans, Commanders, New England. Please start to prepare your roster, guys. Yes, yes. But listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something. King and Nike. This is the way I see this. I'm glad you brought this up, and I got to do. Let me write that down. I got to do a video on this. You, don't destroy your team for no week 14 bye. Now, listen, if you got to win week 14, then you have to do whatever it takes. So you might have to redo your whole roster. But if you are already kind of in the playoffs and you just want to get another win, don't destroy. Hey, start four guys, and if you got two empty spots, that's okay. You still can win. Everybody gonna have bye weeks. I mean, have that problem kind of week 14 because there's gonna be a lot of teams on bye. Play your guys, pick up a few guys off waivers, and that's fine. Don't worry about that if you in the playoffs, per se, right? Don't over prepare. You can over prepare for fantasy, and it can ruin your team where you getting rid of a guy like a Ricky Pearsall or an Isaiah Likely just because you got a bye week, and then you put these guys on the waivers, and somebody pick them up, and then you get ready for week 15 for your playoffs, and you don't got no team no more. Now, if you got to win week 14, yes, if you are right now, you in ninth place, you got to prepare for that because you know you probably gonna have to win that particular week to get in. But if you got a good team and you in the top four positions, you good. Just make sure you got players that you believe in for the playoffs. Don't drop those guys just to get a cheap win. Even if you're gonna drop out of a seed, if you're gonna have to drop a player that you like, go ahead and drop from the number two seed to the three seed. It's okay. You want to be able to win in the playoffs. Don't sell your soul just for money, right? Don't sell the essence of your team just to get a cheap win. Um, but you're right. You do need to prepare if you are have a losing record. Big Growing says Texas. Okay, wait a minute. I got to get the super chat. I'm sorry about that, Frizz. Frizz says rolling with Knox this week since Otten is on bye. Yes, I think that's and really it don't really matter who you put at the tight end position, as long as they're getting some targets. We don't know. It could be Pat Fryermuth. It could be let me see who's somebody. It could be Taysom Hill. It could be Will Disley. All these guys are kind of decent plays because that's how the tight end spot goes. So yeah, man, Knox is a good guy to put out there. There's nothing wrong with that. I would love to play Knox if I had odd known about, especially with all the injuries. B Growing says Texas D versus Dallas or San Francisco D versus Seattle. I'm going with Texas D. I like Texas D going forward too for the rest of the season. They got a good schedule. Thomas says not hating at all, I promise, but Lamb over D Hop this weekend. Why? Um Lamb was gonna continue to get, if he's active, he's gonna continue to get 8 to 10 targets. If he doesn't, the ball doesn't fall through his hands, and the sun doesn't get in his eyes, he has like 15 points. So that type of target share on the Dallas Cowboys is more premium than D Hop playing with the Kansas City Chiefs when they can score a bunch of different ways. So it's just the lessers or two evils. I would rather play Lamb than to play D Hop, and also D Hop does has a tough matchup too, right? I'm not worried about the matchup per se for sitting him, but that Lamb just a better player with his targets. You know he's out there, he's gonna get the targets. They not gonna fade him out or give it to Tolbert. D Hop, they could go out there and Worthy could have a big game and they could use D Hop for a decoy. So that's why I'm playing with Lamb. It's not like no easy starting six decision, but I would just rather play Lamb. I just with his targets and stuff. That's all. Yeah, you're not hating, bro. That's a good question. And I like the way you presented it. You didn't present it in a hating way or anything like that. And it's not. Listen, guys, y'all don't have to agree. You're not hating on me because you disagree. But when you go and I don't, and I see you, I hit. You don't got nothing to say about that. But any type of thing that doesn't go the way that I say it, and you got something to say about that, that's what a hater is. They only can see negative. They can't see positive. You can go around and I can go and kill it for 5 weeks, and then I say, well, Rashid Heat is better than Jamar Chase, and you'll bring that up in the chat every single time. That's what a hater is. A hater is not a guy to say, well, TD, I don't understand why you playing Lamb over D Hop. When D Hop, you said you're not worried about Patrick Surtain. Right? That's fine. That's a great question. You can chastise me, but not disrespect me trying to go in my dirty clothes hamper and trying to find some dirty draws. Right? The test says I also traded Tillman and CMC for Gibbs and Devontae Smith. Thoughts? You got Gibbs, which is at that point in time, I would say the best player in this draft. Guys, my phone was getting ready to die too, so I'm gonna have to get through these comments kind of quick. Um, yeah, for Gibbs and Devontae Smith. Yeah, I'm gonna say a B minus. You got Gibbs. I love that you got Gibbs. That's what giving you a B minus instead of a C plus or a C. But I don't like that you traded away Tillman, and I'm okay with you trading away CMC, knowing what was going on. And you got Gibbs. It's just the Tillman and the Devontae Smith part. But I still think it's fine. You think I like Devontae Smith on the elite offense, so I'm gonna give you a B minus on this one. It's a good trade. Let's see. Thomas says, one more thing on Tyson. Dude said he doesn't believe in legacies like peeps don't have after they die. I don't know about that. That's a deep question. I don't know. I'll maybe answer that later. But yeah, that's a deep question. King of Nike said, TD, I think Zay will have a nice game against Pittsburgh. I do too. They play a lot of zone defense, cover three, and he has to put up numbers against the zone coverage this year. Right, bro. But let me tell you, guys, I believe a lot of stuff like this, but I can't tell you to start Zay jet over an elite guy just because of that. Right? So just giving context. Not saying you said that, King of Nike, but I love Zay. I'm playing Zay on my teams. Why? Because I don't got nobody in front of him. I don't have a I'm not playing musical chairs with my players. I know who my stars are. I'm going to play them every single week. So, but sometimes when y'all have questions, y'all have a lot of guys, a lot of talented guys on your team, and you have to make these decisions. And I think it makes your team, it makes it tougher for you to play fantasy. But I do believe Zay is going to eat, and I think Zay can eat any game. But I do think going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you beat them in the slot, and Zay gonna play in the slot a lot. Another super chat. Let me see. Fred says, in a must win, do I start A Rich over Winston? Yes, I would start A Rich over Winston. I'm 4-6, 14 man. Also, Audric Estime or Pop Douglas. I'm starting Audric Estime over Pop Douglas. Yeah. Um, Thomas said, did you see Mike Tyson's interview? Just saw parts of it yesterday. It's wild. No, I didn't. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Kicker like it says public service. PSA. Okay. Right. Okay. Appreciate public service announcement. Got you. Um LA Real Gamer says Brian Thomas a sit into alliance. Yes, I think so. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is a sit. Just depends on how you set your team up. Sometimes you just gotta play him or put him in the flex and you don't really care what happens. Want to play Taysom Hill badly, but Knox seems to be safer. I would start Taysom Hill over Knox. That's just me though. But I think Knox is a good start this week. Play Sutton and Tillman, bench Ladd and Waddle. I like Ladd. I probably would play Ladd over Sutton. Whew, that's tough. I think you need to get Ladd in there. Ladd is a great play this week. I like Ladd. So, but Tillman, I would say Tillman and Ladd. I don't feel like Sutton is a bad start, but we talking about the lesser of two evils. Hopefully y'all understand that because sometimes y'all he said sit Sutton. Sutton got a great matchup and he did this and this and this and this and this and this and this. I know, but what you want me to do? You want me to bench Ladd with a great matchup and then I'm wrong on Ladd? It's three. You got three guys and you only need two. I'm not saying you T Jones, just giving perspective of some of the comments that people you may see sometimes. Or you may see I might say this player and the reason why, the rhyme and reason for what I'm saying. Guys, if my phone go dead, I apologize, but I'm trying to get through this. Let me see, make sure we don't have any super chats. All right, I'm gonna check it out, Thomas. Uh, Thomas's bye week suggestion: set the lineup to the following week and see what your matchups looks like, or if you got to prepare. Right, and when you should do that. You should do that. I do that from week one. I go up 2, 3 spots all the time. I'm kind of you got to think forward like that. But I've told y'all players that it really doesn't matter, and you should be up in your top of your team. So don't like you got to have a Maslow hierarchy chart. And worried about bye weeks is very low on me. It's very low. I can show y'all my teams, but I'm gonna start. People start saying I'm lying. I'm gonna start saying, well, let's do a cash out bet. If I show you my team and I done it that way, then you got to pay me, or vice versa. If I'm capping, then I got to pay you. Um, but yeah, I don't worry about bye weeks. I always want my players healthy, and I believe in my players, and I think my players going to dominate your players. That's how I win, right? It's like you a running team or a passing team. I'm a player team. My players are better than your players. I drafted better than you most of the time. I'm not perfect. I don't make the playoffs in every single league. I play in 16 leagues. Let me see. Detest says you the goat, bro. Thank you, bro. Dr. Duck says you laugh, but statistics don't lie. Matchups play a huge role in how a player generally performs. Well, Dr. Duck, once you come in my league and beat me with them stats, let me ask you this, Dr. Duck. Who have you been on? Like, I don't get. You said you laugh, but statistics don't lie. What stats matter? Like, what you talking about? What statistics matter? Let me go back to what you were saying. You was talking about wide receivers. Um, I need to sit wide receivers because of corners. Is that what you're saying? So I'm gonna lose. Like, what is your results for saying that? Because it's my prerogative, right? It's my prerogative, bro. You don't want me to have. You don't. My favorite color shouldn't be red. My favorite color shouldn't be red. Like, I don't get what you're saying. I'm not telling you, guys, you gotta start this guy. I don't care who. I always tell you the power is yours. But I'm telling you, I like to give y'all suggestions for what I would do. I'm gonna play my guys. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't get what you're saying. Like, bro, that's why I'm not saying you hating, but if you look back and stand out what you're doing, you're like, oh, okay. Well, let me see your team. That would be more of a better educated comeback because no matter what I do, no matter what you do, if you winning, bro, I'm gonna tell you to keep doing it. If you don't start a quarterback at the quarterback starting position and you say I'm gonna leave it blank and then you win with it, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm not gonna say what the stat says. You're gonna get a 0. That's your team. Do what you want to do. Right? That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. And you ain't measuring me on no hit rate. You talking about a vacuum and he won't sit against a corner. Talk about my hit rate, bro. Talk about stuff that's guys. Why y'all following this guy? He's talking about he won't sit. wide receivers for corners. He ain't hit all year. You don't say that. You talking about one little thing, and it's a prerogative move. But I like it, man. It's entertaining. I liked because I love the debate. I love to argue. I love this is what I do. So I appreciate it, man. Detest said, yeah, I should have kept Tillman. Right. Brandon Rose says, would you trade Debo for Monty? No. All right. Thomas says, check it out. Conjure says, I've been here listening. Matchups are for DFS. No one has to choose between elites in fantasy league. That's why TD says tomato, tomato. Right. Right. And that's the things. That's what he don't get. He don't know that he's like sounding dumb and almost sounding bringing himself into a hater because he's listening for oh, it was one. TD said three. Like he's not getting a bigger picture. He's looking so low that he's missing the picture. It's all good, but appreciate you, conscious. Thomas says one exception, Sertan. No, I'm not. You trying to tell me Tyreek will whoop Sertan ass? And now with a hurt tour, yeah, I'm not sitting on Tyreek Hill. Now, if you want to sit Tyler Lockett, yeah, you can sit Tyler Lockett. I'm not sitting no Tyreek, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon Ra. Make sure I ain't leaving out no wide receivers. Though I make sure I'm talking about all the top guys. I'm not sitting none of those guys. That's the guys that I'm talking about. And there's a few other guys up there. Just depends on who you drafted. I'm not sitting my guys for that. But if I got a guy that's like I'm streaming, like a Cedric Tillman, and I'm picked them up and Patrick Surtain got to play him, yeah. But if I need Cedric Tillman to play, I don't have anybody else. I'm putting his ass out there. It is what it is, and I'm gonna move on to the next week. This year, what wide receiver succeeded versus Surtain? I don't know. I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not sitting my guys. That's the point. Like, but what I'm saying, Thomas, why are and guys, if my phone go dead, I apologize. But why we got to talk about a matchups when wide receivers when we trying to win fantasy football championships? Like, I just want to understand. That's why I think y'all are hating. You trying to say something that who cares, right? Like that's not going to make me win a championship by sitting the guy. Oh, I set the right guy, so I'm going to win that's not going to make me win no championship. I tell you what you do. I don't know the playoff schedule for Denver. You make sure you sit your wide receivers against them in the playoffs. Then that's what I tell you. That's what you do. Uh, I think TD is not smart enough to study statistics. That's okay. Wow. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I respect your opinion, bro. Let me see. I'm not looking to play guys against Sertan on DraftKings. It's fantasy football. I've set great running backs a decade ago because of matchups, and the running back I bench goes for 3 touchdowns. You can't live with regrets. Facts. Thomas says, for instance, I should have set Evans versus Lattimore early this season. I'm not even reading. I'm not even reading that stuff. Let's see the wide receivers seeded. I just want to make sure I get to all my members. There are shutdown corner short. Check Sutton against all his matchups. Sutton is now a consistent starter in fantasy. Right, that's all we're trying to look for. We're just trying to win to get the right players in there. And make sure I got starters. That's all. It ain't a statistics, bro. I'll lap your ass in stats, nigga. I don't got to write. It's in here. You better go check and Google who I am. Right. I bet you I'm better than you. Triple darkness. But let me make sure I write your name down so you gonna come up in here and troll. I ain't gonna block you. I love that you come in here. I'm not gonna block you. But you sit here and why you listening to my channel if I'm not smart enough? Don't listen to me, bro. Don't listen to me. All right, triple darkness. Now let him say no zone talks. Let him say what he said. Let him own it. Let him own it. What's up, Jay Moore? What's up, bro? Evans burnt me versus Lattimore. That's all I'm saying. No hate. I disagree because you're missing the picture of what I'm saying. You bringing up something that we ain't even talking about. If we was talking about, hey, do corner shut down wide receivers, and this video was about that, y'all would be exactly right. I'm trying to tell you how to set your lineup that way you can try to get the most points you can. That's all we talking about. Y'all talking about something totally different. Just think about it if you for a second when the live is over. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, listen, my phone was getting ready to go dead. I appreciate everybody being here. Y'all guys be safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.